Peace, this is Brother Hatim, and you have joined us on Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Be sure to check out our site and subscribe at tribe.GNJMedia.Supporter.
All my brothers and sisters, hold hands and bow your heads. Let us pray. God standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judgeth amongst the gods. How long will he judge unjust and accept the persons of the wicked? I say, defend the poor and the fatherless, do justice to the afflicted and the needy, deliver the poor and needy, rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of court. I have said, ye are God, and all of you are children of the Most High. But ye shall die like men, and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O God, judge the earth. Thou shalt inherit all nations.
We're about to get this
Allah
going.
Akbar.
About to get it going.
I am Gye-Nyame. I was born for greatness. My greatness comes from my potent center. I pledge to find and connect with my son. I pledge to build my spirit, mind, and body. I pledge to use my hands to build a better world for myself, my loved ones, and my community. I pledge to use my mind to think deeper, further, and higher to create a better reality for myself. I pledge to live my life and go beyond all my self-imposed limitations. I pledge to promote the principles of the Gye-Nyame warriors and to assist all those who are seeking the path of success. I pledge all these things first to myself, my teachers, to all my relations, and to my higher power. I am Gye-Nyame. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe.
Ashe. Family, what's going on? This is Brother Hatim, and it is no better time than now to be standing in the congregation of the mighty, the home of the stubborn minority, the place where your hustle builds muscle. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. I'm your host, Brother Hatim. Of course, you know this is a Heart of December broadcast all day, every day. But we strive to blow up your old paradigms because they got oh, family, it is good to be here. I have been away from this for I ain't gonna say so long. It's only been a couple of weeks. But I am really missing the streaming every day. But it's good that I take a break because as we talked about in the last few weeks, I'm learning to miss my purpose, right? You know, not miss doing it. Not miss it, but miss it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Fondness. What is it? Separation makes the heart grow fonder. You know what I'm saying? Relationships barely die from starvation, but they definitely die from indigestion. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pulling myself away from my purpose so I can have some time to become closer to it. You know what I'm saying? Get away from it so I can get closer to it. So anyway, today, what I wanted to share with y'all was I am looking at the principle of money. I'm preparing this one for money, and the money talk, the money lesson for today is called Digging In with Imani. 6 ways to strengthen your relationship with faith, trust. Now, it's important that those of you that are listening to Gye-Nyame understand that Gye-Nyame, we got principles and they all line up in a certain way. You understand what I'm saying? They line up in a certain way. And faith, or Imani, of course, is faith, and it lines up with the principle of trust in our M7. This is a system that we use for the young people that we work with. So when we say Imani, we mean faith and trust, right? And we have to learn how to work these, right? Right, like they like right and left hands, faith and trust, right? So I'm gonna just get into Digging In with Imani. If you are on our email list, you received this earlier this morning. This podcast, I'm planning on setting it up to go out hopefully about 12 noon on Imani. I don't know how long I'm going to keep it out. Because what I'm working on is developing these talks not only into a 21-week training, because I have more than enough material for that. It's just a matter of getting in and cut it up. But I also want to make this more of an exclusive content for those tribal supporters, because I want them to be able to get the tools and to move ahead. I don't want this just to be available to everyone. So I have to figure out what I'm going to give to my email list and what I'm going to give to the those who are supporters, because the writing is cool, but I think I might say the podcast. I don't know. I just have to think about it, because this type of function allows me to go deeper, which, you know what I'm saying, which is really, really needed. I need to be able to go deeper with the writing, because the writing pales. It pales in comparison to when I'm able to really get out what I meant, because it's hard for me. I'm more of a spoken word individual. I'm not a writer. I'm moving. I'm getting better. I'm getting the tools to help me be able to hone in on it. But for me, the experience is not as powerful as when I'm speaking it, because I could read what I have, but then I could let you know what motivated me to write what that was, and that in those little crevices, in those little corners, in those little spaces is where the power really lies. So, Great Imani, I'm writing this directly after I had an incident where I personally had an ancestral intercession. I had to learn, I had to lean into my Imani and walk in the darkness of life. And it worked. I'm going to stress that. I won't lie and say I was not worried or stressed, but I can say that it worked out, and I believe I have a responsibility to share what I've learned with you. And this is something that has been a common theme throughout my life. And the last few conversations over the last few days have been leading me into this. And part of my mindset, because in Gye-Nyame we have mindsets. We don't call them masterminds. We set minds. You understand what I'm saying? We set minds on what they're supposed to be moving towards and what they're supposed to be building towards. So we have mindsets. You understand? Hopefully you can feel me, right? Now, so in my mindset, one of the goals that I had for this coming up week, since I wasn't going to record every day, because I knew I wasn't going to record every day, in my mindset, I stated that I wanted to have a conversation about digging in to your faith, digging into your trust, digging in to Imani, right? Digging in with, it's called digging in with Imani, right? Because part of the challenge of being a Gye-Nyame man and being a Gye-Nyame woman, not only in running and trying to stay in shape and being as healthy as we possibly can so that we could be great vessels to do the work that we chose to come here to do, to be great vessels, to be able to serve our ancestors and our Creator, right? But we have to be able to live the talk. I don't think some of y'all really understand me, because many of us, we talk the spirituality, we talk the African consciousness, we talk the African history, but are we able to live this, right? Are we able to be a model that other people can follow? They can see the ancestors working for you and through you, right? So a lot of us, we say these principles like Imani. It sounds so beautiful, such a beautiful word. It means faith. And you sound so intelligent when you get up and you can break down the exact definition that comes with Kwanzaa, but you can't break down what it really means to you and what it means in your life. this weekend I was faced with a challenge. My money was tight, and I need to make this trip. Those of you that's been listening to me or talk to me personally, y'all know because I done told this story, and I'm gonna keep telling this story. Everything was arranged for me to make this trip to Maryland and to do the libations and to participate in the rites of passage for my two nieces, right? The issue, and I need y'all to get this. Right? The issue was that I was on a shoestring budget. It means that everything had to line up, and I had the money, right? But what happened was that businesses felt that they needed their money a little bit earlier, so the electric company took their money out too early. Boom, wiping out money. Now, when I found out the electric company had decided to take their money out early, I was in Pennsylvania already. All my gas, you know what I'm saying, I had, you know what I'm saying, because I had the money for the gas in one, you know what I'm saying, I had it added up, so I had to figure out how to do it. Now, my wife was not originally supposed to go. She was supposed to work that weekend, and when she tried to get off, she couldn't get off, but circumstances lined up to where they took her off the schedule. So then she decided, rather than chill at home, she decided to roll with us because I have been talking it up. I wanted her to meet Jackie anyway, and I wanted her to see driving towards the East Coast. I wanted her to see the beauty in the woods and stuff like that. So she decided that because her job took her off the schedule, because now mind you, she didn't know that she was off the schedule until Friday night, or my fault, those are push-ups, until near night. So my plans didn't even include her going. But something new that she needed to go. Why? Because once we got on the road, once we got the car, once we started moving, and businesses started deciding on how they was going to affect me, this is crazy, right? The electric company took my money, right? Early. The car company froze. Now the car rental was about $208. The rental company froze $770 in my account. So they not only froze what the rental was supposed to be, they froze another 2 times. The rental, the total cost of the car was supposed to be $208. They froze over 2 times what they needed to freeze in order for me to be able to go. So now that was my hotel money, that was my hotel money, that was my eating money. My gas money had been ate up. All this happened or occurred, or I was able to find out about when I was on the road with my kids. Now, if it would have just been me and my kids, we would have been frozen. And when I looked at my bank account, I immediately went into the bank. I immediately went into panic mode. Why? Because I'm like, damn, how are we gonna make it out here? My wife pulled out her card and was like, boom, yeah, I got it. Boom, I got it. We work it out with you. I don't even worry about it, right? You know, now I'm just saying this for me. I had no idea that my wife was going. Because she could have changed her mind and said she was just going to lay in bed because they took her off the schedule, fam. I want y'all to think about that. Somehow she ended up getting took off the schedule. And for me, this is that those ancestors at work giving me something that I didn't even know I needed at the time. See, this is how it works, right? This is how it works. I got something that I needed that I didn't even know I needed at the time. This is how grand our ancestors are. This is how grand we are. You know, this is how the ancestors work for us. right? But we miss it all the time because we discount what our ancestors do. We discount our faith. We discount our trust in the universe and the way things are and the way we have been put out here and the reason that we're here. We all discount this off to luck rather than lifting up the praise and lifting up the water to pour and to thank our ancestors. So the question I'm having is, can you dig? Have you been digging into your Imani? Have you been digging into your trust? Have you been digging into your faith? Or have you been faking the phone? Have you been giving the credit to your luck rather than to your ancestors? See, because I heard two more stories within Gye-Nyame, and one that was happening at the exact same time. And actually, another one. And I won't share those because those are other people's adventures. But I had to dig in my faith, family, because I was concerned. I didn't know how much money. I didn't know how much money my wife had. I didn't know how she would feel about this. Matter of fact, I didn't even know this shit was going to happen. Let's even put it like that. Because really, at that point in time, if my wife would have said, listen, we got to go home, I would have had to agree with her. But it didn't work like that. My ancestors provided me with what I needed. And once the okay was there, like, boom, we're going to make this shit happen. We went through. And like I said, it wasn't easy. It wasn't stress-free. It was me walking in the darkness of life. Knowing, right? Knowing that there was something down there, but I couldn't see how to get to it. I just knew I needed to keep moving in order to get to it. So I had to feel around with my heart. I had to feel around with my spirit. I had to feel around with my mind and make it through that. But this is for you. Digging in with the mind. 6 ways to strengthen your relationship with faith. Faith can be hard. It is the ultimate initiation into our world. And when I say our world, I'm talking about Gye-Nyame. I'm talking about this consciousness. See, because the ultimate initiations, right? When you start looking at the initiations, right? Your faith is that thing that you got to get through, right? You know what I'm saying? Whether we're talking about the vision quest, or we're talking about the freedom runs, or we're talking, that faith is always going. That's the initiation into our world. Can I trust that the ancestors that we toast every day will be there for me or there for you, right? Because we toast at Gye-Nyame every day. And the piece that I want to get beyond for some of you is just you doing actions, right? Just doing things. Because I tell people all the time, if the daily toast is not working for you, stop doing it. Why waste your time? You understand what I'm saying? I don't need people just doing it because it's tradition or because you feel that you know what I'm saying? I need you doing it because you know that it works and you are expected to have the ancestors intercede in something for you. Learning to lean in on our faith and having trust that the Creator and our ancestors has our back is hard for most. In some cases, it is impossible because of some of our past experiences. Many of us are limited in how much faith we could give because of some of our past experiences. But if we want to move to the next level of our development, we are going to have to let that past go and start learning to lean in on our Imani. Many of us expect things to happen in a certain way, and when they don't, we believe we have been forsaken. The truth is that we have to release our expectation and accept help that our ancestors send in the way that our ancestors send, right? It might not always look like, you know what I'm saying? This help that I got this weekend didn't look like it was supposed to. The help that Brother Shamar got this weekend didn't look like it should look. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, family, I'm just trying to tell you the way the universe communicates with us and the way it comes through if we do not get rid of a lot of our preconceived notions, we will miss out. Many of us are missing out. Gye-Nyame right now is missing out because things are not looking the way for some of our members, the way that they think that it should. We got to let that go. We got to let that go. We have to understand that the universe is communicating and working with us, but it's not always going to come in a recognizable fashion for us. Joy don't always start off with a smile. I mean, I'm just saying, the wealth does not always come to us looking like a bag. You understand what I'm saying? But anyway, let's keep it moving. Many of us expect things to happen in a certain way, and then when they don't, we believe we have been forsaken. The truth is that we have to release our expectations and accept the help that our ancestors sent in the way that they sent it. Faith is a muscle. Trust is a muscle that must be worked so that it can be of service in our life. So we got to embrace situations like mine or what you might be in right now. We got to learn how to embrace these and use these, because just like your muscles and your body, your faith need to be worked out. But we have to release the false ideas of control that we have when it comes to events in our lives. Many of us, because of lack of use, do not recognize Imani when it is in action right in our face. Imani requires us to let go and trust in what we say we believe. See, we have to let go and trust in what we say. Many of us talking, but we ain't living what we say. See, Gye-Nyame requires you to stop talking about money and start moving in money. It requires you to stop talking about Kumba and start moving in Kumba. It requires you to stop talking about Nia and start moving in Nia. It requires you to stop talking about Ujima and start moving in Ujima. It requires you to stop talking about Ujima and start moving in Ujima. It requires you to stop talking about Kuji Chakalia and start moving in Kuji Chakalia. It requires you to stop talking about Emoja and start moving in Emoja. See, because if we are going to move to the next level as a tribe, and if you are going to move to the next level as an individual, you got to stop playing with your shit. You got to stop playing with our principles. We got to stop playing with our culture, and we got to start putting it on. We got to start putting the meat on the bones, and we got to start bringing it to life. It's my fault. It's already alive. We got to start embracing it so that it can start living and moving through us. When we are afraid to trust, we won't rely on anyone or anything outside of ourselves. We will depend on ourselves and our own limited resources. This is where many of you are. You know what I'm saying? Because fear has entered. Fear counters your trust. Fear makes it impossible for you to have faith. Fear destroys your belief. So when fear comes in, we can't trust. We can't practice faith. And many of you are living a consistent life of fear. Your life is consistently fearful. We will depend on ourselves and our own limited resources. And when we depend on ourselves and our own limited resources, we always fall short. I'm just letting y'all know right now, right? This is why many times in our lives we feel overwhelmed and overburdened. We feel like the weight of the world is on our shoulders. We feel like there isn't enough time or energy to get things done. But this needn't be so. If we are willing to trust, then we can allow others to help us. Now this requires, because this goes back to tribe building and being around people of like mind and like spirit and culture, right? Because when you feel your faith is falling off of you, you might need to be able to lean on one of your brothers and sisters who can go and help you see what it is that you might need to see and get what it is you might need to get. We can allow if we are willing to trust, then we can allow others to help us. We can allow our ancestors to move, and more importantly, we can allow our Creator to create. Many of us get in the way of our ancestors' movement, and we get in the way of our Creator being able to create what it is we want in our life, or what we need in our life. We stand in the way. Our fear is in the way. We can't even see it. It's being built for you right now. You can't even see it. When we do this, we make room to receive support in doing what needs to be done. We make room for people that are our ancestors and creators, that our ancestors and creator work through. I want y'all to remember this, family. Many of y'all looking for thunder and lightning and deep voices coming out of nowhere, not realizing that our ancestors work through the people that surround us. So the question that many of you might need to wrestle with is, I'm looking around for those that can't see me, making sure nobody could hear this. The thing that many of us might have to deal with is, who in the hell is surrounding you? See, because if the blessings aren't flowing, maybe the blessings aren't flowing not because of you, but because those people that are around you. Because if you are not moving in a circle that is in a sense spiritualized and conscious like yourself, what in the hell are you expecting to get from them? Human beings come together because we expect stuff to come with the people we allow into our lives, or at least that's the way it should be. You know what I'm saying? Be like, brother, I tend to be utilitarian, but hell, survival is about use, is it not? It ain't about taking advantage. It's about us being able to work together. But many of you are surrounding yourself with people that could bring absolutely nothing to you. Let me read that again. We make room for people who care about us to show up and assist us when needed. Now, let me read it the way it's written. We make room for people, this is in parentheses, that our ancestors and Creator worked through, who care about us to show up and assist us when needed. By being willing to trust, we open doors to help love and support. We open doors to help love and support that weren't available before because we were too afraid of rejection or pain to let anyone or anything in but ourselves. Here are 6 ways to strengthen your relationship with Imani. Get ready. Tell your friends and family about how the practice of Imani has empowered you. Right? You have to think about your life, family. Because like I said, when I think back in my life, I can remember many times where things that I just described over this past weekend has happened to me. And I chalked it up to love. You need to start telling your friends and families and those around you about how the practice of money has empowered you. You know, so that you can start reminding yourself about how you truly are blessed. Many of us don't want to accept that. And it's cool. It's cool for you. More for me. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Invite people to have discussions about money. Not religious. But you know what I'm saying? When you're on the phone sometimes, you want to hear other people's stories about faith, because what that does, that sparks movements in you, and you can start making connections in your life, because this is what's crazy. Oftentimes, it takes people outside of what we're going through to identify for us, or help to identify for us, when a blessing was really a blessing and when a curse was really a curse. Because I'm telling you right now, they often enter our lives looking very opposite. A lot of blessings have come into my life that did not look good. And a lot of curses have come into my life that look damn perfect. They look good. You know what I'm saying? I mean, built like you wouldn't even believe until you got your hands into it. Invite people to have discussions about money. You need to have circles. You need to have places in your tribe where you are able to discuss your faith, discuss ideas of trust, making money a daily practice. You know what I'm saying? Put yourself in small situations so that you can see that your faith and what you have trust in and what you believe in really is working for you. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do no big thing. You can start doing small little things. You know what I'm saying? Put your money to work. Go out and live Go out and live your revolution. You know what I'm saying? Live what you taught. All right? Be proud of your principles and beliefs. You know what I'm saying? Stop hiding them. You know what I'm saying? Be who you are. And 6, help others in your community build their own wealth through the use of Imani. All right? You know what I'm saying? So, and when I say build wealth, I'm not just talking about that financial piece. See, because what I'm saying is, I want you to understand this. It's not that I don't have money on that trip. There's ways that I could have got my hands on money, right? If I really, really, really was down and out. There's other ways that, but things worked out, right? Now, and things worked out, why? Because of the relationships that I have, right? Help others in your community build their own wealth. Not just money, monetary wealth, but wealth in relationships. Relationships require trust. Relationship requires faith. These are, you know what I'm saying? For example, in Gye-Nyame, for me, it's a daily practice of putting faith and trust in others. This is what tribe is about. This is one of the powers of the tribe. It helps you realize that your faith and your trust, the things that you have faith and trust in, are very real. Now what we have to do is we have to start exploring and moving and doing bigger, because when you practice them on a smaller level, you can start really moving out into the world and making things happen. But family, I ain't gonna hold you up, because I've been on here according to this screen. I've been on here for 32 minutes and 6 seconds. So I'm gonna get on out. But I want to thank y'all for taking some time and listening in to an old dude while I do my thing. But I am out.
Do you hear that? Is it supposed to sound like this? Mr. Deity, I think it sounds great. Mr. Deity.